I remember the taste of metal in my mouth when I hit the floor. Not fear, hunger. The kind of hunger that hollows out your ribs and steals your balance. The kind of hunger a grown man shouldn't feel, not when he has a family. But mine had carved me open long before I collapsed that morning. I heard footsteps, a door creaked. Then something soft hit the floor beside me, a paper bag. When I lifted my head, someone was already leaving, coat collar up, face hidden. No words, no hesitation. Inside the bag, a sandwich, a bottle of water, and a business card. Lawyer, high profile, ruthless reputation. And beneath it, a sealed envelope with handwriting I had only seen once in my life. My grandfather's. The billionaire my parents had painted as a monster. The man they claimed abandoned them. The man they said I should never contact. I opened it with trembling hands. If you're reading this, then they finally pushed you too far. Come claim what is yours. They cannot touch you once you do. Your mother and siblings, they've lived well on the money that should have been yours. My breath stalled. They had drained me dry for years. Loans for emergencies, guilt dressed as affection, manipulating me until I could barely afford food. My mother crying on the phone. My brother calling me selfish for keeping my own paycheck. My sister showing up at my apartment and walking out with my last savings as if she had every right. I thought their need made them cruel, but now I understood. Their greed made them predators, and I was done being prey. I used to believe I owed them everything. After my father died, I tried to step up, tried to be the glue, tried to be good. I paid bills I never created, fixed messes I never made, funded lifestyles that weren't mine. But the moment my job cut my hours, they disappeared. No help, no concern, just demand after demand. I saw the pattern too late. Missed calls when I needed them. Dozens of messages when they needed money. The night before I collapsed, my mother texted me, "You're useless if you can't even help your own family." That was the moment something in me snapped, not with anger, but clarity. They didn't want me stable, they wanted me dependent, easier to control that way. The letter simply confirmed the truth. They had been living off hush money from my grandfather for years. Payments meant for my education, my future, siphoned into their pockets. I was the only one who never saw a cent. All because they didn't want me to know the old man loved me enough to leave something behind. I didn't scream. I didn't demand answers. I planned. Quietly. Surgically. First, I visited the lawyer. The stranger in the hallway had been sent by him, by my grandfather before he passed 3 months ago. The inheritance was real, irrevocable, and far larger than anything my family ever hinted at. Then I documented everything: bank transfers, texts, recordings of their manipulation. I moved my accounts, changed my number, filed a financial freeze, set legal boundaries that struck with precision. My lawyer sent each of them a notice. They were no longer allowed to contact me. No more loans, no more surprise visits, no more access to the money they had stolen for years. And if they tried to fight it, they'd face charges for misappropriation of protected funds. They ignored it. Of course they did. They stormed my apartment 2 weeks later, my mother leading the charge, my brother shouting, my sister crying on command. I waited until they were all inside, their voices ricocheting off the walls. Then I handed them copies of the evidence, bank records, screenshots, the letter from my grandfather. "You used me," I said, calm, steady, almost soft. "And you lied about the one person who tried to protect me." My mother's face drained of color. My brother went silent. My sister's tears dried instantly. And that was when the second set of documents slid out of the envelope, my lawyer's timing impeccable. Civil claims, fraud investigations, the end of their quiet little empire. I watched their fear bloom. I let them feel the walls closing in. "You drained me," I said, "but that ends tonight." My brother lunged. I stepped back, letting the officers waiting in the hallway step in. They were escorted out one by one, shouting, pleading, bargaining. I didn't say a word. I didn't need to. Justice speaks for itself. When the door finally shut, I breathed, fully, freely, for the first time in years. Revenge didn't taste like fire. It tasted like air, clean, cold, and honest. I didn't destroy them. They destroyed themselves. I just stopped holding the pieces together. And as I stood there, with the letter in my hand and silence wrapping around me like armor, I whispered the final truth they never bothered to teach me. Family isn't blood. Family is who doesn't watch you starve.